slick layer of ice lies beneath the snowy surface of central Arkansas, and it is causing trouble across the state. Here's a live look along I-40 near Lone Oak, where traffic is at a standstill as first responders and road crews deal with yet another accident. We're going to have more on the roads, including several live updates from our team in just a moment. But first, we want to start with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Nathan, we're not expecting any more precipitation, but the cold is sticking around, and so is ice, huh?
Good afternoon, Jurnee. Yeah, all the winter precipitation is out of here. Had a few flurries out there this morning. There could still be a few flurries down into South Arkansas, but it is very cold out there. Just seeing a little bit of melting, all thanks to the higher sun angle for this time of year. Conditions are starting to improve along the interstate somewhat, but it's still slushy, and those main highways and the side streets are still pretty much snow and ice covered. Look at the temperatures out there. It's 19 in Clinton, 24 in Little Rock. A lot more clouds here in Camden, Monticello, temperatures into the low 20s. The wind is brutal. It's that biting wind. We've got the winds kicking in from the north, 10 to 20 miles per hour. So this is what you want to prepare for if you have to be out and about. It feels like 11 degrees in Little Rock. Feels like 7 in Clinton. Feels like 0 in Harrison. We do have that THV 11 weather impact alert, not only for today, but really over the next couple days, just because of the brutally cold air expected. Here's your feels like forecast for the rest of the day, with partly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Feels like drops down to the single digits for this evening, and then tonight we'll be feeling like below 0 for the start of your Thursday morning. So look at your temperatures across the state dropping down into, I think, below 0 in North Arkansas. But here it is, 8 o'clock for Thursday morning. It'll be dropping down into the low teens, and that wind chill 0 or just below 0. We do have an extreme cold warning issued for a large part of the state. Otherwise, you're under a cold advisory. The bottom line with this is you have to dress warmly. You have to be smart about this, because this type of cold can certainly cause hypothermia and frostbite if you don't have hats, gloves, scarves, all to protect your fingers and your toes. Be smart. This is the coldest air that we've seen so far this season, and it's really the coldest air that we've seen for quite some time. There is some warmer temperatures headed in our direction, and there's a big warm-up going into next week. I'll have more on that, and also talk about when we'll see temperatures finally climb above freezing, because that's not going to be happening for quite some time. I'll have more on your forecast and have sleet and snow totals that what we've got in so far from the National Weather Service coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Well, before we get a check of traffic in our area, we want to show you just a glimpse of the chaos the winter weather is creating on roads across Arkansas. Just after 9 o'clock this morning, 2 18-wheelers, one of them a Walmart truck, crashed on I-49 in Springdale, creating a fire and shutting down a portion of the interstate. RDOT says another car was involved in the accident as well. There's no word on if anyone was injured. However, first responders and road crews are now working to clear the scene and get traffic moving again. And as you can see on this iDrive Arkansas map, most of the state's highways are covered in either ice or snow. You can also see several accidents and highway closures caused by the winter storm. It's just another reminder to stay off the road if you can. Well, last night's winter remix introduction peaked with a snow downfall. It's only an allusion to the dangerous layer of ice beneath it. Our team of journalists are stationed in the field. There are eyes and ears to how bad the conditions are. We'll get to Maya Ellison in just a second with details on the steps to recovery. But first, Carter Thweets spoke with MIMS today on their first response protocol. Carter, how are emergency crews handling the aftermath?
Yeah, that's right, Jurnee. I was hearing you talk all about the roads, and I know for me on my drive in today, it took me close to double the amount of time to get in just because I was being safe, being careful. But one group that doesn't always have that luxury is the first responders here in downtown Little Rock, MIMS. They handle the metro and much of central Arkansas, and if there's a life-threatening situation, they've got to get out there and help people regardless of what the roads look like. And so I was talking to their operations manager just a few minutes ago in their parking lot here at their downtown location, and he was telling me they make a lot of preparations, things you'd expect. They do studded tires for traction. They salt and sand and shovel their parking lots. Actually, don't think they're doing it now, but not 10 minutes ago. They were just shoveling the parking lot here. They make sure that all their crews have food at all their locations. But one of the things I thought was really interesting, he mentioned to me, you might think that with the weather being bad, it's like more of a skeleton crew here and they don't have as many people. But he told me it's actually the opposite. Since conditions are bad, response times might be longer. They actually tend to have more staff here to try and mitigate that and make sure they can get everywhere they need to be. So later on in the show, I'll bring you back here. We'll talk more about the types of calls that MIMS tends to get, the things they tend to respond to, but just know they are prepared for situations like this. And again, we'll have more on that later on in the show. Reporting in Little Rock, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
All right, Carter, thank you. And of course, on the top of everyone's mind is what to do next. The conditions aren't projected to improve anytime soon. Maya Ellison has those details. Maya?
Yeah, Jurnee, you recently shared about some of those accidents that we've been seeing, as well as the recent standstill that people are experiencing in Lonoke. But I spoke to Arkansas State Police as well as RDOT. Dave Parker shared with me that about 25 accidents have occurred across the state in Arkansas. And one of the reasons why, even though they've treated the streets, as we've told you all throughout this week, is that the state of the roads and the conditions of the roads can cause some of those accidents. But I want to show you all something. So we're here in the middle of kind of the road in a neighborhood. It's not the highways that they want you to necessarily be concerned about, but it's more of these back roads in your neighborhoods. What you're seeing right now on the street is a mix of slush, ice, snow. But as our meteorologists have stated, like Tom, Nathan, Simone, as well as those that are really wanting to make sure that you're safe, is that if it's slick, as you see, I'm kind of sliding, that's a concern. You don't want to press hard on your brake. That can cause those accidents. Instead, take it slow, take it steady, and most of all, be safe. Not only are you looking out for yourself, but you're looking out for those on the road next to you. So like I said, if you're on the road and you see some of this ice, make sure you slow down and just be very mindful. Later on, you'll hear from ASP officials as well as RDOT officials on additional information on some of these accidents that we're seeing and some of the things they advise you when it comes to staying safe, making sure that you're looking out, not, like I said, not only for yourself, but for drivers on the road. Reporting here in downtown Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
All right, good stuff to know for the next few days, Maya. Thank you for that live report. Well, flags will be flown at half-staff across the state. It's to honor the late 43rd governor of Arkansas, Jim Guy Tucker. The state was under his leadership from 1992 through 1996. It followed a lengthy career in public service. Tucker died at the age of 81. He will lie in state this Friday at the state capitol rotunda. Flags will be lowered until next Monday at sunset. Well, you're taking a live look here at the THV 11 Weather Garden. This beautiful fountain frozen over. Yes, it is cold out there. Stay inside if you can and stay warm. We'll have more on that when we come back from break.